All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to deconstruct a highly unusual and, quite frankly, tactically fascinating narrative. We're taking a really close look at a short, incredibly bizarre source text, simply titled Shepherd Girl and Chimney Sweep. Now, at first glance, this might look like your standard fairy tale, but honestly, this is a highly structured story about sabotage, leveraging your unique skills and dismantling oppressive systems to actually achieve your goals. It is a wild ride, so let's just jump right in. I mean, it sounds completely absurd, right? What happens when a talking central clock stands in the way of true love? But listen, this is not a metaphor. This is the very real, very literal problem faced by the protagonists in our source material. We aren't dealing with evil stepmothers or rival suitors or financial ruin here. No, we are dealing with hostile, authoritative village infrastructure. It's a fascinating premise that forces us to look at exactly how characters react when their own environment literally turns against them. Section 1. A Tale of Forbidden Love. So here is the core conflict. We've got the shepherd girl's perfectly normal, entirely human desire. She simply wants to marry the chimney sweep. But pitted directly against this is the old central clock of the village, which actively prevents her from doing so. It's just a wild juxtaposition. You have this simple, pure wish for happiness being entirely blocked by a seemingly inanimate yet highly authoritative piece of village architecture. It sets up a completely unbalanced power dynamic right from the jump. I mean, how do you even argue with the thing that literally keeps the town's time? Section 2, The Dragon Ultimatum. Get a load of this quote straight from the text. Shepherd girl is my granddaughter. I will marry her to a dragon. I have promised the dragon. Now, what's truly unhinged about this escalation is twofold. First, the central clock makes this completely bizarre familial claim out of nowhere, declaring that the shepherd pearl is its granddaughter. It uses this totally fabricated authority to dictate her life. And second, it introduces a massive, mythical threat, an arranged marriage to a literal dragon. It's an ultimatum that completely changes the rules of engagement for our village lovers. They aren't just facing disapproval anymore, they are facing mythical destruction. So, faced with a dragon and a ticking clock, how on earth do a shepherd girl and a chimney sweep stay together? The text makes a point to note that they were very upset by this promise to the dragon, which I think we can all agree is entirely understandable. But here is the key takeaway for our explainer today. They don't just sit around and weep. They come up with an idea. And this is the exact moment we pivot from analyzing a bizarre problem into breaking down a brilliant tactical solution. Section 3. The Mechanism Sabotage. Let's walk through their methodology carefully, because these tactics are flawless. The lovers launch a calculated, stealthy counterattack born purely out of their frustration. Step 1. They silently climb the chimney of the house right next to the central clock. Step 2. They open the central clock's mechanism. And step 3, they throw that mechanism straight down the chimney. The absolutely crucial point here is how perfectly they leverage their own specific, real-world expertise. The chimney sweep uses his day-to-day professional skills to climb the adjacent chimney, gaining the high ground and completely bypassing whatever defenses the clock might have had. It's a systematic dismantling of their oppressor. They didn't try to fight the clock in the public square, right? They snuck in and literally unplugged its brain. Section 4, The Aftermath and the Lesson. Notice the absolute finality of this result. The central clock broke into pieces. It was no longer in a state to keep talking. I absolutely love the deadpan delivery of the source text right there. It permanently silences the antagonist. The threat of the dragon, the bizarre claims of being a grandfather, the daily oppression, all of it is instantly neutralized by simply removing the gears that allowed the clock to speak and operate. They attacked the root cause of the problem, and the problem shattered. And this brilliantly illustrates the rapid chronological escalation of our story. We move from step 1, a simple forbidden love blocked by town infrastructure, immediately into step 2, the insane ultimatum of a dragon marriage. But then, rather than accepting defeat, we hit step 3, the swift and decisive sabotage, leading directly to step 4, the resolution. It's a literal masterclass in how taking proactive control of a narrative leads directly to a happily ever after. To concisely summarize the ultimate victory of our protagonists, first, the clock's mechanism is utterly destroyed. The threat is entirely gone. Second, with the obstacle permanently removed, the shepherd girl and the chimney sweep marry each other. And finally, they start living their lives happily. It is a complete and total success. Their tactical strike yielded a 100% favorable outcome for their future. Now, the source text doesn't leave us to guess the meaning of all this. It gives us a very explicit foundational moral lesson: never lose hope. It connects the extreme, almost heist-like actions of the lovers back to a surprisingly simple universal takeaway. Because let's face it, when your oppressor is the literal center of your town, and when they are threatening you with a fire-breathing mythical beast, it would be incredibly easy to just give up. But maintaining hope is the necessary catalyst for finding that creative, tactical solution. Hope is exactly what gets you up the chimney. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. If a shepherd girl and a chimney sweep can dismantle a dragon-promising authoritarian clock, what mechanisms are stopping you from rewriting your own story? What are the loud, ticking obstacles in your own life that seem insurmountable but might just be waiting for you to find the right chimney to climb? Think about how you can leverage your own unique skills to dismantle the things holding you back. Keep that in mind. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time as we decode another fascinating piece of the puzzle.